Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to No Holds Barred. A very, very long time in the making. I must admit, the last one we did of these was about 7 months ago. I was going to say 7 years, but at this point it very much feels like it's been 7 years. You join us on the evening, on the final stream, or at least whenever this was recorded, of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, a game I have been playing since release. Maybe a week delayed because of finishing the previous game. I think it was Batman Arkham City of all things. Either that or Spyro, I can't remember. One of the two. It was a long time ago, and trust me, life has taken many twists and turns since then. But 405 plus hours later, 7 months, a lot of stress, a lot of pain, and me losing what remains of my sanity for the 15 millionth time, we are done. This was a full completion. This wasn't our normal 100% by my criteria. This was a full completion. Originally started by me saying, well, how hard could it be? And just eventually devolved into, if they want war, we'll give them war. So, here we are. What have we done? We have finished every main story mission, every side story mission, every single quest shrine. We have finished the compendium. We have found all 1,000 Korok seeds, which we will go to in a moment. We have done every single shrine, every single light route across the depths. We have found every single location marked on the map. We have found every single cave. More on that in a moment. We have found every single well. We have found every single bauble frog and stolen its gems and fed it to a strange little man. We have found every piece of paraglider fabric for upgrades. We have also found every single armor upgrade. We have upgraded every single armor to its max level. We've unlocked all 4 of the great furries, maybe 5, can't remember. We've unlocked the horse god. We have... What else have we done? There's been a lot. We have killed every single mini-boss across the entirety of the map. We unlocked every location in the sky. This was a big journey. Nintendo basically took this game and just bloated it. Oh, we found the Master Sword as well, but it's me. If anyone who's watching has joined me on any previous of our Zelda's journeys, you know how much I love the Master Sword. You know how much I love Thai. So, of course, I am going to have found the Master Sword. We got the Hylian Shield. We got a green tunic for Link. We had the Tunic of the Wild, of course, but we also had the Tunic of Twilight and the Trousers of Twilight with the Hat of the Wild, because I wanted to keep Link's actual look rather than make him look like Twilight Link, but that's neither here nor there. Look, I love Twilight Princess, by the way. That's my favourite Zelda game, but we're getting off the matter here. But yes. Sorry, it's been a long journey. But anyway, sticking with our usual path of course, what do I think of the game? Well, first of all, as sacrilegious as it may sound to some, I think I prefer Breath of the Wild in terms of the story. Now, don't get me wrong, the story had its moments. Towards the end of the game, well, the story along the way certainly had some really dumb moments. Can I go into spoilers? Maybe not, but sticking with the general idea, because I think everyone knows at this point, Zelda disappears. She ends up in the past. Now, there are 2 ways Nintendo could have done this. First of all, they could have had us just... Well, the way they went is they went with the same way they did in Breath of the Wild. You find the MacGuffin throughout the world, and you unlock memories, or in this point, visions of the past. So you see Zelda through cutscenes. The other alternative they could have taken, which is my preferred method, is we could have had a playable Zelda playing in the past, having her own side story running parallel to the events of this game, maybe making changes in the past, which we can later find in the future and see how she is affecting things before finding her way maybe through the Gate of Time. That would be nice. All the way back to the present for the final fight with Ganondorf, and we have a Wind Waker-esque Link and Zelda, or Twilight Princess-esque Link and Zelda fighting Ganondorf, at least through maybe one phase, but no, we don't get that. I won't spoil what we get, but we don't get that. I still think that idea was really dumb, and in actual fact spoils one of them, what was supposed to be like a really, oh my god, moments in the final boss fight, but we will ignore that for the moment. mainly because of spoilers, but yeah, if they didn't do what they did with the Zelda in the past thing, then we would have had an easier time with that. It's been 7 months, can I? No, I'm not going to spoil it. Somebody might be watching this and never played the game, so there we go. Otherwise, there are certainly moments where we had, well, the champions. Not the champions from Breath of the Wild, of course not, but the new champions. Yunobu, Riju, Prince Sidon, and I'm forgetting his name now. Talon. I think it's Talon. Basically, who wasn't actually the champion from Breath of the Wild. Really weird story choice, but there we go. But so we had those 4, but we actually had them in the fighting. It was nice. Oh, and Minoru. Okay, but thanks, chat. But okay, Minoru is a new character, so we'll gloss over for the moment. But yes, you have 5 companions in this game, basically, which is a nice change. We actually have them. That's coming in the... there is a point on that. I'll get to that in a moment. But yes, so starting with the easy stuff. Graphics, exactly the same as Breath of the Wild. The engine's the same. The core gameplay is pretty much the same. They have changed a few things with the new abilities. I miss the unlimited bombs. I'm going to put that right out there. I miss having a bomb app on my Puripad. That's what the Sheikah Slate's called in this game for some reason. But yes, I miss having the bomb app. I miss having the... Well, we've got I miss stasis as well. Ultra Hand is very fun. Auto build, when you unlock it, is also very useful for map exploration. In terms of the abilities in the game's given you, I can't fault them. They have been fantastic. One of the most fun things of this game is using Ascend to get to places where I would have otherwise had to climb for hours, or using Ultra Hand to couple together various bits and pieces. Brilliant. I get parts from places around the world, I can stitch things together. The physics on the vehicles is a bit hit or miss, a bit weird sometimes, but I can't fault it too much because it's fun. If I'm having fun, I'm not going to complain too much. Well, I am, because it's me and I complain at the drop of a hat, but I can certainly forgive the game on that point. Soundtrack is there's a lot of Breath of the Wild music here. There's not much in terms of original composition. It's a real shame. I get where they're going, by the way. I get the point of the whole ambience of the wild, but at the same time, I can understand that for Breath of the Wild, here you had the chance to make a really epic soundtrack. You kind of missed that ball, Nintendo. Well, it is what it is. So the soundtrack's a bit lackluster in places. You've got the favourite tracks from from Breath of the Wild, not Twilight Princess. That'd be nice, but no. You've got the core tracks from Breath of the Wild. You don't have any Kaz's theme, by the way. Kaz doesn't exist in this game. Really annoying. Same for the complete lack of Sheikah technology. Doesn't exist in this game. Where is it? Nobody knows. Nintendo just wrote it out of the game just off the cuff. Just, yeah, the Sheikah stuff disappeared after the last game. Done. Don't appreciate it. Don't like it. In terms of lore as well, really, really hate where they've gone with the lore of this. I mean, the 10,000 years ago in Breath of the Wild was one of those things where you have to sit there and go, well, okay, fine, but I don't have to like it, but I can sort of crowbar and reshift the lore into making it work. With this game, I think one of the most egregious things I've found is that nobody remembers Link. There's a detachment between Breath of the Wild and this game. It's not a case of... There are 2 ways of doing it. You could have had the game assume that you 100% of the previous game and did every single thing and everyone knows who Link is. That's the good way of doing it, because then it makes the player curious, going, this person knows who I am. Why do they know who I am? Maybe they go off and buy the previous game. You see, I've missed a trick there, Nintendo. But instead, no, everyone has amnesia. People who should know Link don't know Link. You can understand some of the NPCs not knowing Link because Hyrule's a big place. Maybe these people never met Link in his previous journey. But then you've got core people who don't know who Link is, and that's really annoying and very disconnecting. It's basically saying, yeah, in the previous game, Link just went from point A to point B, saved the day, there we go, the end, and it's just... don't like it. But yes, well, I was going to... Oh, yes, gameplay. Also, in our completionist run, another really stupid design decision that actually led to us having 3 parts of Journey's End for this journey is the caves. Caves aren't linked. So, correction, cave entrances aren't linked. So if you find something called the Pit Cave, and you go in through one entrance, and there's a second entrance, once you complete the cave, the entrances don't sync. So you basically have to go into the cave twice in order for both entrances to sync together, which is... I suppose maybe a minor gripe, but also really very annoying. So there we go. Why have I... Oh, that's okay. I can live with that. Sorry, I'm just distracted by something anyway. But, all in all, my ranting over, what do I think of this game? If you ever have the inclination to try and do a full completion of this game, don't. Never try to complete this game. Unless you are completely insane, or you have a lot of time to waste. Don't complete this game. Do all of the side quests. Go for it. Korok Seeds. If you're insane, sure, go for all 1,000. I don't recommend that. I put the same advice I put on Breath of the Wild's No Holds Barred. Don't do all of the Korok Seeds. Completely pointless. Do what you need for the upgrades. That's it. Unlock your entire inventory. Forget about the Koroks. Just leave them wherever they are currently hiding. You do not need to do them. Armor upgrades. Don't do all the armor upgrades. Lezophos Tails will be your ruining. If not Lezophos Tails, certainly the stupid... There's a new type of enemy. They replaced the Guardians. Not as good as the Guardians, I might add. They are Zonai soldiers. And you need to kill the Zonai soldiers in order to get tasty parts off them to upgrade your armor. I'm going to hold my hands up here and be honest. I did use a duplication glitch once in this game. It was our one invoking of the Rule of Bollocks, mainly because I couldn't invoke it on the Zophos Tails, so we had to farm those legitimately, which took us several streams because the drop rate on the Zophos Tails is so pitifully low. So yes, we used the duplication glitch to make ourselves a bunch of soldier horns, or at least enough for us to get the armor upgrade on the Zonai armor, which we have used maybe once in the whole 400 hours of this game. Don't do that. Pick the armor sets you like. Take your core armor sets. Fully upgrade the Frostbite set. Fully upgrade the Flamebreaker set. Pick a Link set you like, be it the Champion's Tunic, the Champion's Levers, or even the Armor of the Wild, or, if you so wish, I don't personally like it, the reward for the armor set you get for completing all of the shrines. Complete the ones you're going to use, ignore the rest, because you don't need to do them. You really don't need to do them. It is a lot of work, it's a lot of math, and you know what? The worst thing to farm in this game? But in the early days, we found a way of doing it. Rare taluses, by the way. Rupees. Rupees barely exist in this game, for the most part, but you need a lot of them. To be honest, the majority of the game, up to the armor upgrades, we also struggled because all of the base weapons are knackered. For story reasons that I can understand. I can get behind the reason the weapons are knackered, I can get behind the fact the weapons are knackered, I can get behind the degradation system on this principle. All the weapons were corrupted in the upheaval. Oh, there we go. That's why everything breaks in about 2 seconds. By the way, the Master Sword still breaks. Just throwing that out there. The Master Sword, after recovering in Breath of the Wild, after doing the Trials of the Sword, is back to what it was in the base game of Breath of the Wild. Not even post-trials. It is back to pre-trials levels. Apart from the final fight, where I think it's just got its invincibility turned up to max because you can't have the Master Sword shattering in the middle of the boss fight. But who knows? I don't. Maybe it does shatter and I've just switched out to a different... Well, I did certainly switch out to a different weapon for a duration of the boss fight, but who knows? Maybe the Master Sword still gets tired in the middle of fighting Ganondorf, but we'll see. But oh well. Voice acting, fantastic. All the voice casts bring a brilliant aspect to it. Some of the dialogue, I'm looking at you, Zelda, is a bit flat, but for the most part, brilliant. The cutscenes, I can't fault them. They all work. Link and Ganondorf. Ganondorf just wins the show for his cutscenes. They're brilliant. I very much enjoy them. I enjoyed the few major... There's only a handful of cutscenes, but when they actually play, they're brilliant. Especially when the gang's all together. It's just... I just loved it. But in terms of doing the temple, it's got the same issue as Breath of the Wild. I've just noticed it, I've just realised how long this No Holds Barred is going, but I've got 7 months of frustration behind me, so strap yourself in. This might be a long one. A feature-length No Holds Barred, if you will. But yes, in terms of the temples, the shrines, whatever, Breath of the Wild, you have the divine beasts, you find the 4 MacGuffins, you fight a final boss, the end. Same thing, basically. Though give the game its due, it did in fact give us something newish. We actually got temple puzzles. Admittedly, it was the same temple puzzle 4 times in a row. You go into the temple, you find the 4 MacGuffins, do a thing with the new ability you've unlocked, and then you get to the final boss. The final bosses were alright as well. Made a good use. It was a good teaching exercise of the champion ability that you later unlock after the fight. So I can get behind that. And having somebody beside you fighting the final boss, I can appreciate it. I appreciated them adding the champions, or at least the sages, as they are called in this game. One thing I cannot abide, though, is binding every one of them to the A button. In Breath of the Wild, you had different sets of buttons to do different things. So Mipha automatically revives you if you fall in battle. Urbosa attacks with lightning strikes when you do a spin attack. Rivali, I can't remember what it was. I think you hold down the X button and then you jump into the air with a Rivali's Gale. Or Daruk, you just hold your shield button and it automatically turns on. With this game, no, you don't have that. You have to run up to the sage, talk to them with the A button, and then you can use their ability. Doesn't sound too bad in theory, but when you're in the middle of battle and you are all running around murdering enemies, trying to go, oh, I need a lightning strike from Riju, and then you have to disengage from the enemy you're fighting to go and talk to Riju to use their ability is a pain in the neck. Most of the time you can ignore them, by the way. You can just go off, or you accidentally trigger them because you press the A button, or catch the A button while you're in the middle of a combat encounter. When you encounter bosses, however, or enemies require champion ability to slay them, and there are a very small number of them throughout the game. Trying to get to the champion you wish to talk to is a pain in the neck, especially in the boss fights where the champion is running around, is running around, and then you have to disengage from the boss, dodging their attacks to talk to the sage in order to use their ability. Really dumb design decision. Or not so much dumb, lazy, because it's either a case that I'm going to have to go into the menus and turn the sages on and off, or I'm just going to have to be really careful with my button presses. The amount of time Tulin launched a bunch of things I wanted to collect across the map because I pressed the A button at the wrong time is... But anyway, where was I going with this? Oh yes, do I recommend buying this game? Yes. I wouldn't recommend getting the collector's edition, because in fairness, I don't think it warrants it. It very much has the feeling of a very big DLC pack for Breath of the Wild. To be honest, it originally started as DLC for Breath of the Wild. I think it could have probably gone quite far as a DLC for Breath of the Wild, but I mean, there are ways they could have made it a sequel. The ending was nice. I appreciate the ending. I appreciate the secret ending we get, but at the same time, I don't know. I wouldn't go for the collector's edition, not unless you're a massive Zelda fan. For the base game, yeah, go for it. Don't complete it. The end of. Unless you're insane, don't complete it. You will ruin your day. Oh, no master mode, by the way, if you're looking for that particular challenge. Doesn't exist. Oh, and if you only did Breath of the Wild on master mode, like some muppet here, you're out of luck, because master mode isn't considered a proper save file and this game doesn't read it. So that fancy champions picture we got at the end of the Trial of the Sword, or not Trial of the Sword, at the end of the Champions Ballad, yeah, we completely lost that. We got Epona though, so that's alright. The game does pull from Breath of the Wild if you're on the same Switch console, but there we go. But anyway, I have rambled and ranted long enough. Hopefully I've given you an idea of some of the trials and tribulations I've had with this game. I can honestly say that now I have finished everything in it, I will not be revisiting Tears of the Kingdom for a very long time to come. Maybe ever, but time heals all wounds and all that. But yeah, have I had fun? You know what? I've had fun moments. When I've been playing the story, I've honestly had fun. When I've been exploring some of the locations early in the game, I've had a lot of fun. Towards the end, however, the game became a bloated mess. It felt very padded. It felt like Nintendo was basically testing my patience with this completion run. It felt like this is a game that's not designed to be completed. They've just taken the Ubisoft style of throw a bunch of stuff into the game and no Muppet's ever going to actually complete it all, but there we go. I've got there in the end. At the end of the day, though, did I have fun? Yes. Fun. I wouldn't have stuck through this game as long as I have if I wasn't having fun. There were challenging points. There were points where I thought, why am I doing this with my life? But at the end of the day, if I only, given my time again, if I wasn't insane and decided to do a completionist run of this game, if I only did the story and what I have already recommended previously in this video of just doing all the side quests. Compendium was easy, by the way. Once you've got rupees, just buy all the photos. But, oh, there are about 2 photos at least that you can easily miss. Bear that in mind. But yes, given my time again, if I didn't do a full completionist run, I think I would have had fun with this game. Do all the story? Marvellous. Do all the sub-stories? Easy. Upgrade the armor sets that I want? Bit annoying, but I can live with it. All 1,000 Korok seeds? No. All of the bauble frogs in the caves? That was a bit of a push. Not gonna lie, that was a bit of a push, but we got there in the end. All of the wells for a snow globe. Yeah, fun. Oh, by the way, Korok seed reward. Oh, you're gonna love this. Yes, it's the same as Breath of the Wild. I don't feel bad about spoiling that. It's the same as Breath of the Wild. You probably already knew that. Brilliant, beautiful people as you are, but yeah, it's the same as Breath of the Wild, so have fun with that. But yeah, story-wise, it was fun. I enjoyed it. There were stupid moments. Of course there were stupid moments, but I enjoyed it. Will I want to visit again anytime soon? No. Not in the slightest. But then again, that's just me. Anyway, with that said, I have ranted and rambled long enough. This is probably by far the longest No Holds Barred we have ever done here on the channel. So with that said, with that done, to each and every one of you, may you all have a beautiful, well, evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever it is around this whole wide world you are. Thank you very much for listening to me as long as you have, and may you all just be brilliant out there. Anyway, with that said, with that done, to each and every one of you, until our paths next cross again, the vortex awaits, and I'll see you all next time.